I have a question, Stuart.
Yes.
You often talk about surrender in our spiritual lives, and I'm wondering if you can talk about that in our practical lives as well, and in things like running a business.
Well, it's just a very commonsensical thing. In your practical life, you have many choices that you can make about how you want to spend your time. And in order to do things that are priorities in your life, you have to let go of other things. You have to surrender them. You have to surrender relationships with people that maybe you're not helping you grow in your life. You have to surrender. I mean, you go to the grocery store, you got to surrender money in order to get food. You got to give something in life in order to get something in return. The act of giving is kind of an act of surrender, of letting go, and just about everything in life requires this. And it's one of the reasons there's so much tension in life because people have to constantly be giving something to get something in return. If you don't give something, you have to give your time, your energy, your labor, hours of your life have to be invested in your job, your business, in order to get something back from it. And so that just about everything we do in life, is in accordance to some form of surrender, what our priorities are, what we want to spend our time doing. And in order to do those priorities, we have to let go of other things. I mean, all of you could be sitting in a movie right now. You could be going to the theater. You could be going out and having dinner, right? There's a million things you can do during the day. But this, is a priority. So you have to let go of these other things in order to do it. And by letting go of these other things and investing time and energy in working on yourself, you benefit from it. You change as human beings. You grow. You really open to a higher force of energy in the universe. It's the same thing in, your job, your business, whatever your activities are in the world. To make them work, we have to give input into them. We have to invest our time and energy. We have to give something to make them work. It means learning how to surrender, to let go. Now, the point of meditation is to build a system so that in your everyday life, when you have to surrender, you understand it doesn't tear you apart, doesn't rip you apart. You do things with gratitude. You give your energy to a relationship in gratitude because you found somebody to love and they love you. If the relationship stops working, you know, then there are other priorities. And it's always dangerous to hang on to things that are not working anymore, investing energy in things that don't work anymore. It's like trying to beat a dead horse. It's not going to take you anywhere. So part of the development of an inner life is learning how to choose consciously in your everyday practical, material, economic, social existence. So surrender is all around us. Stan, the things we eat, the people we spend time with, everything in life is based upon letting go of something else. And in order to do it with gratitude and with love and compassion and an open heart, I get back to the same answer again. You got to build a system in yourself that is strong enough to do it. It's always the answer. We get back to basics. Have you built that kind of system inside that enables you to give in life unconditionally and to give in life because that's the way you get things in return? You give time, you give energy, you give money, you give, you know, love, you give everything as part of unconditional giving and receiving. And the difference between doing spiritual practice and ordinary living is we do these things with gratitude. We have learned through deep inner work that life is our teacher. And in order to get something back from life, we have to invest something in life. We have to give something to life. We are not entitled to anything, frankly, because we're born. We have to learn how to give unconditionally so we can receive unconditionally. And this is not an easy thing for people to live with because it takes an enormous effort to change inside to be able to understand that none of us are entitled beings. We have to invest time, energy, something in order to receive something back. I mean, when I was younger, I never liked being in business. I never could understand myself being a merchant. But I understood this. I had an ashram to support, a meditation to support. I had to work. I had to invest something of myself in order to earn money, in order to support my life and to support what my responsibilities were in life. So I did it. And I learned how to like it and do it with an open heart and love and with gratitude. So the material and the spiritual really, they kind of mirror each other. They really do. Same principles are used in the material world that you have to use in the spiritual world. Learning how to give unconditionally, learning how to have priorities and invest time and energy and making life work for you. Not running over life, not having a huge ego that destroys other people, but how to do it with compassion, with love, with understanding, patience, but understanding that we don't get anything really out of life unless we're willing to invest something of ourselves in it. And then there's a lot of stuff that comes back that you don't like. Well, that's also part of life. Getting strong enough to where it just bounces off of you. You can deal with it. It doesn't get inside you. It doesn't eat you alive. It just bounces off. You have the strength. You're like a goalie in a hockey game. You can protect the goal, which is your heart. Does anyone else have a question you'd like to ask? It's like, I talk about these things and people just leave. You understand? Which means that they can't take an extra 10 minutes and make this a priority so they can get the kind of energy that is going on now. Something else is more important. And it's kind of an insult and I think pretty stupid, you know, that somebody can't spend another 10 minutes and take this Shakti in, this energy, this teaching that it's not even Stuart doing it. It's just coming through. It's a gift for all of us, you know? It's a matter of surrender, letting go. The other thing can wait 5 minutes, 10. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? I hope it's clear what I'm talking about because we try to separate the material and the spiritual. We try to separate the emotional and the spiritual and the material, and we can't. They all work on the same principles. And once you get the spiritual developing the chakra system, you can bring that into your material life, into your emotional life, your relationships, your family, and you begin to see that you have the strength inside, to truly give and receive unconditionally. Does anyone have a question? Anyone else have a question? Okay, if there are no more questions, have a great weekend. Thank you. God bless you all. And take this with you. I say this after every class now. Take it with you. Don't think about it. Don't mull it over. Don't try to say what's right or wrong or you like, but just take the freaking energy. Just the energy. Let it work on you inside. Let it change you inside. And stop all the bullshit in the brain that knows better than everybody else, because none of us know better than anybody else. And we're all here to just simply learn about what we need to do every day to grow. So just take it with you. Let it really become part of you organically, help you to build a strong inner life and be grateful. Hey, God bless you all. Thank you. And there'll be class on Sunday. I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Gratitude.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you, Stuart.
Good night.
Good night.